Hi everyone, as promised, I am going to reveal to you how my husband and I retired at ages 28 and 29. Actually, I think maybe I was 30. And I know this sounds, just from that first sentence, it sounds scammy. It sounds like I'm trying to sell something, and I'm not at all, actually. The opposite. I am sharing my secrets. With friends and family, we have always been very honest about this point, and a lot of people don't know how we live the way we live, how we move around without having to worry, especially with a big family with lots of children, how we move around without having to secure a job first or at all, for that matter. And I'm going to tell you how. I will reveal our secrets. Our secrets are that we saved money and invested our money. And that is the big secret. So I know it's not flashy, I know it's not a pill, but it is entirely possible, and it is accessible to absolutely everyone in the West. So, of course, I understand that, disclaimer, my whole life comes with some level of privilege, right? I'm a certain height, I my brain works, I'm able to function, I'm very cute. There are all kinds of different privileges in the world. However, I work with what I have, and everyone else should work with what they have. I was also very fortunate to be born in a Western country, as was my husband. And that way we had better access to, education and sanitation and stability, political stability, more or less, and different things that we may not have had access to in other circumstances, right? But that is how we grew up, and we took with it what we got from that. And I know a lot of people who grew up with similar blessings and are working like dogs and wish that they weren't. So, what is our secret? There is an idea called FIRE, FIRE, and Mr. Money Mustache. So, my husband found Mr. Money Mustache one day, and I really should have looked up the year before I started making this video. But from the time that he discovered Mr. Money Mustache, I believe it was just under 5 years to the time that what we call fired. So the word FIRE, FIRE, stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early. And that's what we achieved. How did we achieve this? What happened was, my husband and I, when we first got married, we didn't have much. And of course, from our wedding, we received wedding gifts where we got some money from our friends and family. But still, we didn't receive much. So what happened is that we were in Australia. We moved to Australia, and we moved in with my mother-in-law initially for the first 9-10 months or so that we were in Australia. So thank you, shout out to my mother-in-law who allowed us to live with her for very, very cheap rent for those 9 or 10 months. And that is how we saved up for our first property in Melbourne, Australia. We worked, and I don't like this idea of, oh, we worked very hard, because I feel like most people work hard. We were not slackers at all. My husband and I are both pretty hard workers, and we hold ourselves to a really high standard, and we had goals. So we had goals for our family, and that is something that I'm talking about in a different video, which is how to find a mate. So Avi and I want, to our credit, that's one of the best things about us together, is that we make a very good team. And whenever I talk about finding a mate, that is the number one thing that I will suggest, is that you make sure that you and that person, not just that you're in love, which is very important, trust me, but that you make a good team. You are partners. Like, you are doing this, you are in this together. That is so important. So you just have this kind of deep feeling that, like, you and I, we work together. Like, Avi and I have always said that if we did Amazing Race together, we would win for sure, because we're like a well-oiled machine. We just go, go, go. And when he and I know what the goal is, we make it happen. And I think everyone has access to that. If you can just find someone who will be on that same page with you, there are no limits. So we had a goal, and Avi found Mr. Money Mustache. You can Google it. And I don't subscribe to any kind of cult following or he's perfect or anything. But what I have done is I have taken ideas from various people throughout life that, give good advice on this, give good advice on that. And some things that they say or do with their personal lives, I don't want to amplify it, or I don't want to copy it. But if they have a good idea, they have a good idea. And if it works. So one of his earliest blogs, maybe even his first one, is titled The Surprisingly Simple Math to Early Retirement, or to Retiring Early. And that article changed our lives because of that, from that idea, we were able to retire early. So I'm giving a lot of background. I can talk more, I will talk more about the details of how we did it, specifically what worked for us, and I will record another video. See you then.